Time to get a jump on your taxes. What approach do you need to take to have a stress-free and successful tax season? I've got that and more coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. We're in the process of doing a couple thousand tax returns for the clients that we get to serve, and yeah, we're weirdos. We love this time of year. Tax planning is one of the 6 areas of your financial life. It's the creative work to identify opportunities for you to pay the least amount of tax over your lifetime, and then implementing those strategies that really bring synergy to your financial life. And so, yeah, this time of year, as we're seeing a lot of those strategies that we've already put in place over the past 12 months or even earlier, seeing that sort of play out, we're capturing last minute tax plan opportunities and creating new tax plans for the year ahead. It's great. So what approach should you take to have maybe not enjoy tax season like us nerds, but to have a successful tax season? What's the approach that we're taking with our clients to ensure the same? Well, I've got 7 steps. That seems like a lot. It sort of is, and embedded in it is the 3 questions that you need to answer every single time you get your taxes done. So let's get into it. Step number 1 to have a successful tax season is, you got to start collecting all your documents. And we're recording this middle of February, so you might say, okay, yeah, that's done. Well, this used to be a lot easier, okay? I've shared before that more and more tax documents are coming via email, or you have to go get them. Fewer and fewer are actually coming by mail. The ones that do, really easy. The ones that ping you via email, where they send you an email and say, hey, your tax document's ready, go get it. Those are still easy, but you might forget. The email might land in spam. You might overlook that email and you could miss it. But it's the ones where you don't even get an email. You have to remember to go online to that site to retrieve the document. That's where there's lots of mistakes happening. A couple additional points about collecting documents. And number 1 is, if you have a non-IRA or non-retirement investment account, know that you might still be waiting on those tax documents. That 1099 div or 1099B might take a while to get to you. Middle of February, even late February for some companies. That's one thing to note. And so make sure that you don't go too far until you've got that document. And then the other is, fewer and fewer companies are issuing what are called 5498 tax forms. These are documents or tax forms that show if you made a Roth IRA contribution, IRA contribution, and what those balances were for those. And the reason why is you can make these IRA and Roth IRA contributions up until April 15. So sometimes these don't get mailed out or sent out until May or later into the summer, which, hey, why even bother at that point? Normally, if you made a contribution during the year, you would have gotten one of these documents by the end of January. And some companies, Fidelity and others, are just not issuing them this year. So collecting all your documents, but be aware of those couple of points. Step number 2 is fill out a tax questionnaire. Fill out a tax questionnaire that helps you sort of walk through, well, what's changed this year that you need to be aware of from your taxes. If you're working with a CPA or a professional, then they should have a customized, a good questionnaire that's going to help you know, okay, wait, what additional documents do I need to gather, or additional information do I need to provide because of some changes that have happened in my life. Things like, well, did you move? Did you get married? Did you have a child? Did you contribute to an IRA or Roth IRA? Those sorts of things. Did you buy anything? Did you sell anything? That sort of thing. That's what the questionnaire does. It helps frame, well, what's changed in your financial life from last tax season to this tax season that's going to influence what information you need to provide. Now, if you're self-preparing, hopefully the system you're using has a questionnaire. If not, guys, likely you're going to miss something. Likely you're going to have an unsuccessful tax season. Once you've collected all your documents and you've kind of walked through a questionnaire, updating you and triggering your memory on, okay, what additional items do I need to get this year? Step 3 is you're ready to draft your return. And hopefully, again, you're working with a professional. You provide all that information to them, and their experts are then taking that information and drafting a return, getting the right number into the right box. And here's where people make the mistake. Most people think, well, then step 4 is sign the e-files and you're done. No, that's not true. Step 4, after your return is drafted, but before you file it, step 4 is you need to go through and confirm that return for accuracy. And that might sound awful. You don't need to be a tax expert to do this one, but you do need to sort of walk through the return and say, okay, I see where, they're getting this number from. I see where this number's coming from. I see where, that's the right income. That's the right interest. Yep, I've got all my bank accounts listed there. That's right. I see the dividends there. That's accurate. I see where you can just do a double check and confirm. Yeah, that's an accurate return. There isn't anything that I'm missing. This also makes sure that you're getting the right deductions as well as the right tax credits. Step 5, after you've reviewed your return, that draft of your return for accuracy, before again you file, step 5, is there anything that you should be doing right now to improve this tax return before you file it? Anything that you should be doing right now before you file your return to improve the return before you file it? And these are things like funding a Roth IRA, maxing out your HSA, doing a 529 contribution. What are the tax planning opportunities that exist for you, for your specific situation, that you should implement or consider implementing before you file the return? We talk about this all the time. This is the second question of 3 that you need to answer every time you're getting your tax return prepared. By the way, the first one is, do I understand why my return turned out the way that it did? That was the previous step. But this one helps you identify opportunities for you to pay the least amount of tax over your lifetime. And through the financial planning process, figuring out which of those opportunities to implement and which of them you should pass on. Once you've identified those opportunities to implement for this past year, for the tax return before you file it, the next question is, kind of step 6, is what's changing in your tax picture or your finances right now that's going to impact your taxes and your planning for the year ahead. So here we stand right now in the spring or early part of 2025. It's a lot of the year left ahead of us. And if you know that something's changed, I'm changing jobs, or I turned age 50, or I've got a child that's turning 17, if you're aware of what's changing in your financial life, then you can adapt and pivot and adjust your plan right now while there's still 10 and a half months left of the year. And that can allow you to capture those opportunities before you're sort of doing so at the last minute. So that's step 6. And then finally, step 7, you're now ready to e-file. You've collected all your documents. You've gone through a questionnaire so you know what changes need to be reflected in this year's return. You've drafted your return. You've double checked it to make sure everything's in there. You're getting all the right deductions, all the right credits. You've identified, well, what adjustments or planning opportunities do I need to make right now before we file this thing? What adjustments are happening right now for this upcoming tax year that I need to begin planning for? Once you've done all of that, yeah, you're ready to file. And you've set yourself up through that checklist of events to have a successful tax season. That's the approach, that's the process that we work with our clients on. That's the one that helps you identify opportunities, capture opportunities, pay the least amount of tax over your lifetime, if not multiple lifetimes, and have confidence that you're filing an accurate tax return as well. So work with your certified financial planner on that. If you don't have a CFP on your team, you can contact one on my team. Find us online, Korhorn.com. That's Korhorn with K, wisemoneyshow.com. You can find us there as well, or give us a call, 574-247-5898. All right, there you have it. Go on, take your next wise step in your financial life.